All right, so let's see how this works. Live on Periscope. So in everything you do, you gotta have tests, right? So today I'm testing Periscope. All right, is Periscope a tweet though? Test. All right, so there's a Periscope going. Okay. Comment did not come in though. Okay. All right, so I guess Periscope is not Twitter. Thought it was. We're gonna test it. So, all right. So what I'm here to do today is, first of all, just catch up with people, see what's going on, see what kind of help they need, seeing what kind of collaborations are available. The reason for that is, and I'm about to launch a podcast probably after this with about what I think has worked for me in the past two recessions. So I was 20 years old, I think, when the first recession of my adult life happened, and it was around 2000, 2001, something like that. I forgot. I think it was 2000. It was after the towers, right? It fell. So I think it was 2001. And then the second one was 2008. So what I feel like worked for me in those times was first was reaching out to everyone you know, right? Everyone you know in business, sure. I mean, not even not in business, right? You just never know. People in your field, people that you may know that may be able to find opportunities for you. So, for instance, in 2001 ish, I remember speaking to everyone that I worked with in my previous few jobs, which knew what I did. And one girl told me about this guy she knew who, maybe needed some web development help. So she connected me to him, and he pretty much gave me a bunch of work throughout that recession. Like we worked on a bunch of websites. We even worked on Aaliyah's website like right before she passed away. Actually, we were launching it the day she passed away, and the news came out. And that guy, I still talk to him. He literally texted me yesterday that he has masks. He has it for like the hookup. So if you need masks, I got a hookup. So he told me not to put it public though. So for my people internally, I got you. So basically, I've been figuring, okay, how can I take the lessons that I learned and I did well in both recessions. And I think that's because hustle. Like I think when you're in a recession, like there's no like pride in stopping your hustle. Like I think and during good times, people's pride stops their hustle. Like, oh, I'm good. Why do more? Why try to get more work or whatever it is? But in recessions, when you feel that like, oh man, who knows when this is going to come back around? You get to that point where it's like, all right, it's all or nothing. So let me go for it, right? So basically, what I've been thinking about is, how did I do it? In 2001, it was reaching out to everybody. In 2008, I had a little bit more business sense. Back then, I was a freelancer. In 2001, I was a freelancer. In 2008, I had tested waters of being a business person. So in 2008, I was freelancing, but I still had a business. And once 2008 really, went sour, all the freelance jobs pretty much dried up. But I was already in position to create a business, and I created Mass Ideation. So then I basically I created Mass Ideation in 2008, and it did very well. So I got a guest. This is my boy Cesar.
What's up? What's up? What's
Leo.
up? What's going on?
What's up? So Cesar's one of my partners right now, actually, and one of the ideas that I believe works right now is content creation, right? So content creation, Cesar has a YouTube channel with 100 million views, and he has monetization active. So we have been talking for years about when recession hits, entertainment content is big, right? And he had that YouTube channel. He's always been an innovator. So we decided to put on the Bronx Tech show. I mean, not the Bronx Tech show. That's another show. The Beyond Celebrity Show. So I'm going to let you see. First of all, I'm going to talk about how I met you.
Yes.
And then let's talk about what you do. And then let's talk about what we do.
Okay.
So I remember meeting Cesar because Cesar came through a friend of a friend. You're like a friend of a friend at first, right? Like our boy Swift. We both you grew up with Swift. I started a business with Swift because he met some guys I grew up with, and we linked together, and we decided to try the business together. It didn't work out, but we stayed cool. He introduced me to you one time. I forgot how we met, but then I was freelancing around 2008, 2007 in the Flatiron district, and I would see you all the time there because that's where you was paparazziing. So I would see you and I'd be like, yo, he's like, yeah, I'm waiting for Matt Damon. He's about to come out of here. And I'm like, word? And I'm like, how much money do you know? And you'd be like, nah, this shot right here is going to make mad money. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So I would go to my stuff. And then later on, when I started Mass Ideation, Cesar wanted to like make a brand for his paparazzi called 24/7 Paps. And he had started doing YouTube. So I was like, let's figure out how to work together. So from then on, we've been dibbing and dabbling in different ideas, innovating in the paparazzi world. And you can see one of our shows on YouTube about that. I'll link to it. But Cesar, tell people what your background, what you do, and then let's go from there.
Yeah, so I've been a paparazzi for a little over 15 years. This is going to be my 16th year now. And I taken a negative kind of job, and that's being a paparazzi, into a positive, being in a positive light with a lot of these celebrities. And I transformed, and it started with TMZ, right? TMZ, it was cool. I was having a good time with TMZ, but it was a lot of negative things going on with TMZ, asking negative questions and stuff like that. And that wasn't me. So I little by little, I started TMZ until I got let go with TMZ, and I started 24/7 Paps. So the whole 24/7 Paps is an extension of me being positive, treating people the way I want to be treated, and we started this brand that started growing and growing with fans, and with the celebrities too. They started listening to my voice. Every time they heard my voice, they were like, oh, this is the positive guy. So I was getting better shots, building different photographers with me, and we started growing and growing until like the last 7 years, we were the biggest paparazzi group in the whole industry. We was number one, number two for 7 years running. In the last 3 years, we was number one. So yeah, that it took it took a while, but yeah, we got to number one and being positive too.
Yeah, so basically, I am putting the link right now of what we shot the other day, explaining all the background of everything we've done. So, like, me and Cesar have gone back. Me and Cesar worked on the first ever drone paparazzi footage. We've done the first ever, so many things. I can't even remember them all. You're gonna have to watch the video. But right now, one of the first ever things we're doing, and we got another one coming up in like a month, is what we're doing is a daily show where Caesar interacts with the fans that are fans of him and fans of celebrities, and we're bringing on new celebrities, and we're bringing, I mean, up and coming celebrities, and we're bringing on fans. So let's talk about that show, Caesar.
So that show, me and Miguel made a pact, and we was like, you know what, we're gonna go as long as this thing is going. We're going every single day, and we working on we're gonna be working on building up. Hey, Paco. So we on our 22nd or 23rd show now, and the whole essence of the show is building up not only up and coming celebrities, but up and coming artists, up and coming singers, up and coming just people that was in the industry and that could give value to people that's watching in the form of entertainment. People that can draw, people that's in the industry that could give advice. So every show, we try to give value to everybody that's watching the show, and it's been great. It's been an awesome experience, and I can't wait to see where it is going to go.
Yeah, so now we brought Paco. Paco's in the on the
Oh,
show.
it's in the house.
So this is how it's gonna work, man. We're just gonna have entrepreneurs and mentors and stuff just come on in, drop in, and just talk. Paco is actually the first angel investor in the Bronx. Actually, me, Paco, and Cesar are working on a project together. We got to be a little hush on that. It's gonna come out in like a month. But Paco's background is crazy. Paco, so everybody who's a guest, I'm gonna explain how I met them, and then I'm gonna let them explain how about what they did, what their background is, and then how we working together. So I met Paco through the great Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, if you could believe that. So AOC, just like this, we used to share an office space, and she would be in the space, and we would work together. This is when she was an entrepreneur. So at the time, her boyfriend was this guy Alex, who was a construction. He did construction, and Paco was on his board of directors. So one day he comes in and he talks to me about what he's doing, and he's like, "You really should meet Paco." So I met Paco, and then me and Paco just started working together ever since. Me and Paco have been working on technology projects. Paco, if you can tell, he's 23 years old now. Paco is
Yes.
81 and is more technologically advanced than most 25-year-olds. So me and Paco have been working on a bunch of tech projects, a bunch of all kind of stuff. Meta Bronx, Paco has invested in projects that I brought to him. He's helped with Meta Bronx. He's on 20 charter school boards. Talk to them about your background, Paco. How you came up in entrepreneurship, the stuff you've done, whatever you want to tell the audience.
Well, I've always been interested in enterprise and business. Before most of you were born, I graduated from Morris High School in the Bronx. I went to Iona College in New Rochelle. And I went to Iona College in New Rochelle, where it was only a boys' school. Now it's a boys and girls. And I graduated in 1964, where the tuition for the whole year was about $1,200. Now,
Wow.
now it's that's what it costs to go probably for a term, and not
Just
even
for
that.
the books.
Yeah. So I was as a Puerto Rican who was born in Puerto Rico and came here when I was 8 years old. I was really an anomaly at college because there were not too many of us. In fact, I think I was the only one at that point, because I went in 19. I entered college in '58. Had to drop out for a year for reasons, and then I went back. Um, And so, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Business Administration with a major in finance, and immediately went to work for a bank, which I didn't like banking. I didn't like the salaries. And then I went and got involved with the anti-poverty program. So I went to work for an anti-poverty organization called the South Bronx Community Corporation. So I got there in 1966, 67. And I've been in the Bronx pretty much all my life. And I was always very spiritual because I grew up as a very good Catholic, good meaning in quotation, meaning that my grandmother took me to mass and church all the time. And so I had a very early experience in spirituality, which one day I will talk to you about it if people are interested in it. I was 6 years old when I had my first encounter with with a power greater than myself, and that changed me. And so moving the clock very quickly, because old people tend to get lost in the past. I became in my lifetime a Zen Buddhist priest. I'm a Roshi in the Zen Peacemaker Order. So if any one of you are interested, go to Zen Peacemakers with an S, Zen Peacemakers with an S.org. And you'll see the work that we do there. You'll see my name as a teacher there, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the
Cool.
things that I've done in the last 20 years, hello?
So I was saying, Courtney just posted a comment, so I just put it on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And so one of the things that I've done in my life is, so 20 years ago, I began the practice, the practice in seriousness of meditation, sitting, exploring the inner world of Paco, who had been up to that point very much involved with business and making money, et cetera, et cetera. I'm still interested in making money, but I now come at it from a different direction. I believe that doing good and doing well is not contradictory, that you could do good for the world and you still can make as much money as you want to make. I don't see it as a contradiction. But what I bring to the table is that I want people to begin to explore who they are, what they are, and why they're here. Why are they here? Why were you born? You know, the odds of anybody being born is so huge that you could probably win the mega or a Powerball at the same time 3 weeks in a row. And you know the odds of doing that are huge. Those odds are better than you being born from that mother, that father, and that particular time. So, what does that mean? That means that each one of us is an incredible miracle, and most people don't know that. So, part of my task, self-imposed, is that whatever project you get involved with, and Corona has made this very easy for me because Corona has taken down nations, leaders, you know, have brought them to their knees where we thought that making money, doing this is the most important thing in the world. And Corona says, oh, you think so, huh? You think making a shitload of money is important, huh? So let me show you something. And I'm going to show it to you as not only individually, but as a totality of humanity. And so I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to continue to offer things to the world, whether it's programs, whether it's different connections with artists, different connections with things, with people, but more importantly, different connections with yourself, which is something that we avoid. You know, most people don't like to spend time with themselves. In fact, most people don't like themselves. In fact, a lot of people, not to say most, but a lot of people uh, suffer from shame for all the reasons that we all know. So part of my work with Miguel has been to work and Cesar is to work on technology, but also bring this flavor of 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 awareness, of noticing, of paying attention. When I did that, whoever was listening jumped up. That attention, that level of attention is what we have to have in living.
Mm.
And so now I'm going to get off my soapbox by saying that the work that we're doing right now with Miguel and Cesar has a lot of possibilities, including becoming children friendly.
Mm.
In my schools, in all the schools, I have kids that are really talented. They can sing, they can play piano. I have a 7-year-old that can play all the African drums because he comes from a village where his grandfather was the super duper drummer. So his dad was a drummer. So this kid was drumming in a kindergarten class.
Wow.
He's now in the 5th, 6th grade, and he's an amazing drummer with an amazing charismatic personality. When he was in kindergarten, he used to blow people's mind because not only can he drum, but he can sing, he can dance, and he can talk. And once he starts talking, he talks more than Paco, and that's a mouthful. Anyway, enough from me. That's pretty much me, and I'm very, very happy to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Yes, Paco has been like a mentor to all of us, and he's an investor as well. And his history is crazy. And me and Paco do a show called the Paco Zen Show. You can check that out. I'll link to it as well. So part of what I believe right now is content creation is one of the best ways of marketing yourself and making money right now, right? Because we're stuck at home, right? What can we do? Right now we're on live talking to people and talking to each other. So, right, one thing that I think I wanted to ask you guys, because I was talking about it before you jumped on, is this is my 3rd recession I'm living through as an adult. And I feel like there was lessons in the first 2 that I'm using in this one. What do you guys remember? And Paco, I'm sure you have more recessions than us, but what are some lessons that you have learned in past recessions that we could pass on to people now, entrepreneurs or anybody, that they could like use in this time? And jump in as you want.
All right. One thing I learned is save your money. Make sure you hold on to some of your money, because I'll be honest with you. The other recessions I tried without and get help. If you want to go into like the market or anything like that, don't go into it blind. Get people that's very knowledgeable about the market and very knowledgeable about what's going on in the market. I went into it blind, so I was like, I just saw numbers low, and I just went and threw in like 10 grand into something, and the thing even dropped even lower. I didn't know what to do with it, and I lost like not a substantial amount of money, but I lost like 3,000 when I was supposed to just make a whole bunch of money because everybody else around me did. So I feel like the main thing is either you gain knowledge of the market and learning tricks and trades, but trust somebody that's close to you that knows the market and knows how to make deals in the market. And I say most of it, save your money and get ready for this kind of thing. Have a kind of side kind of money for this kind of recession. And that's what I took away from it.
How about you, Paco?
Well, as I said to you before, I graduated with a major in finance, and I went to work for a bank for about 2 years, and then later on in life, I was a bank regulator. I was a member of the New York State Banking Board, who regulates New York State charter banks. So I was there for about 3 or 4 years, and then simultaneously, while I was on the banking board, I was chairman. First a member and then became chairman of Sunny Mae. Sunny Mae is the New York State mortgage agency, which puts out about $200 million worth of tax-exempt bonds to help first homeowners in the state of New York. It's pretty much like Fannie Mae in Washington, D.C., and Freddie Mac, where they lend money, low interest mortgage to people. In New York State, Sunny Mae particularly concentrates on first home buy. You've never bought a home, you can actually get a very low interest mortgage in the state of New York. So I was chairman of that. We used to put out, as I said, $200 million a quarter on doing that. So I learned a lot about recessions, and I learned a lot about the market. I would agree with Cesar about the fact that saving money or becoming what I call cash strong. So about 2 years ago, I started telling people, get out of the market. Get out of the market. What are you talking about? I said, some shit's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but some shit's coming. Did I know that it was coronavirus? Absolutely not. I just had this feeling that some freaking stuff is going to happen. I didn't know it was a war. I didn't know it was a bomb, you know. But I knew. So I got out of the market. I had some stocks. I sold everything, and I became very liquid. And I told a lot of my friends to get out of the market. I think one person listened, and he got out totally. Another friend of mine, a woman, got out. She still left money in, and she called me the other day. She said, "Shit, I just got out totally, but I lost 75 grand."
Wow.
But she could have lost
Everything.
She could have lost a couple of million, but she still, because her broker told her, these are blue chip stocks. You got bonds that are blah blah blah. These are safe. These are very, very safe. You'll never lose money. Has never lost money. And she stayed, and she jumped out last week or the week before, and she took a hit for 75 grand. So
Not bad, though.
So I believe that that Cesar is correct. Save your money, keep your money, whatever it is. But I also believe that in terms of recession, depression is a time of opportunity, particularly if you have some money in the bank. There's a lot of things that becomes the buyer's market. Real estate is a buyer's market. I was telling yesterday, who's got a shitload of money, and what should I say? And he likes real estate. I said, look at strip malls. Strip malls are those little places where they have like 5 stores, 6 stores. They're little tiny. In New Jersey has a lot of strip malls. All of a sudden, go on sale because the stores are closed. And maybe not. Maybe the government will keep them alive. But if I was younger, I would probably look to see if there's any strip malls anywhere for sale. Now, I would look at them. I would ask, and I would pick up 2, 3 of them if I could get them at good value. And how do you figure good value? That's a different conversation. There's a different show. But I think recessions are an opportunity, particularly if you know how to look for the opportunities. Don't owe in the bank or cash to get into an opportunity. That's another conversation and another show. How do you do that? How do you do that without money? Most of the stuff that I've ever done in my life, I've done it with $0. What do you mean that? You can't. It's impossible. You need money to make money. Weren't you taught that in school? Didn't you tell me you went to college? Didn't you tell me that you got to finance? What you talking about that you can make money without money? Well, that's what I was taught. That's right. But I also learned that if you're creative enough, you can package things in a way so that you could use other people's money to make money. So on all my real estate, I hardly ever put a penny out. It was always somebody else's money in the package. So I gave away pieces of the pie. I didn't end percent of the pie. If I got 20, 30% of the pie, my opportunity, like recessions, to be able to really figure out how to do that. And a different show about how to do that. But I'm not telling you now.
That's right. So we got a new guest on. This is his name is Wesley. Actually, Cesar, you've met Wesley. Paco, you haven't. Wesley has been a mentee for many years. I met Wesley when we were probably like 20 years old. I don't know. It was very early. He came into my
I think
office.
I was like 22.
Okay.
22, 23.
So Wesley came into my office, I think through the Knowledge House or through a program that we were working on with some school. And Wesley has.
I was a student, with the Knowledge House.
It was Knowledge House. Okay, so Wesley was a good videographer, right? And we always
still am. What you saying?
No. I'm talking about what I meant.
Was a good. Still am. Shit.
Well, now you're a businessman. Oh, you got the kids. My kids are still sleeping. So when I met Wesley was trying to become a videographer, right?
This is live.
So we tried a few things, right? And then he was going for coding for the Knowledge House to learn how to code, all right? I think it was code. So fast forward, Wesley doesn't end up coding. I'm gonna mute you till we speak. All right? Yeah, I think you got the cops around you.
Run!
So I met Wesley. He was coding. He was going through the Knowledge House for code and stuff. So it's funny how this works. He goes, on with his life. We keep in touch. And then one day, I get a call from my friend who managed French Montana. And he calls me. He's like, Mike, do you know Wesley? And I'm like, Wesley, who are you talking about? So they puts Wesley on the phone. And he's like, yo, what's up? I didn't know you know Gabi. He's like, yeah. I'm right now. I'm the main videographer for French Montana. So we basically start talking again and again. And right now he's working on a game, an E-League, a Bronx-based gaming E-League. So we've been texting back and forth for a while on what he can do to make his E-League pop right now. Because right now, if you think about it, what's happening right now, right? Everybody's home. Sports is closed. All sporting is closed, but gaming on E-Leagues could be happening. So Wesley, tell them about what you do and let's talk and let's keep it going.
I started this platform called Game 7 where I'm fusing hip hop and video games. So like my whole idea is, like breaking the whole stigma of what you think a gamer is. Usually you got in mind like a fucking fat guy sitting on a couch, not doing anything, like they're just playing video games, whatever. But there's people like you and me who has, experienced like the arcades back in the day. Asking your mom for quarters and shit. You bring a whole bag in a black plastic bag when you make your way to the bodega or to the local arcade. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking to bring that vibe back, fusing hip hop with video games. So I would take video game clips and, mix them together with some music. Sometimes like, it's almost like just creating the vibe, man. Like you ever just put on some headphones and play some Call of Duty and things like that? Hold on.
You still say hi?
Yeah, because I'm on live, bitch.
You say hi for me.
Yeah, there's my son and my daughter.
Yeah, I know that is.
Amen.
That's the most important person in this world right now. You're the most important person in the world right now.
Yeah,
these guys are talking Baba, man. You're the wisdom, dude.
Yeah, all for the wisdom, man. And with these two, they're gonna get a lot of it. So back to what I was saying. This platform, Game 7, fusing hip hop and video games, and like what I would like to do is start putting together like tournaments. Like basically starting in the Bronx. I don't think there's a esports league in the Bronx. So I believe with just with the right like branding and marketing behind it, this could be like a big thing. I have a whole idea behind it as far as like perception. Like bringing DJs, local DJs. Boom boxes, even setting up like a projector screen outside, like I have this idea of when people are able to come outside again, like you set up a projector, maybe like by a fucking bus stop or some shit, somewhere where people just exit. Bus station, and you get like a fucking dock system, right?
You're Paco,
like something with good sound, and you set up a station with like PS4s, Xbox, set up the Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and have people, just chill out and vibe, man. If they want to play some video games, you pay like $10 and shit. $10 a game, 30 minutes a piece, something quick.
So yeah, I've been talking to Wesley about how we can make an e-league that one right now, that industry's growing. And right now it shows you, right? The actual sports leagues are done because of the coronavirus, but e-leagues are exploding. And there's an opportunity to collect data. There's an opportunity to create money, because the idea that he has is people would have like Final Four tournaments. They put in $10 and then somebody wins the pot based on whoever wins the tournament, right? So he can make money. They can, and he could create stars. So I know Cesar has always said those e-league players are going to be the next celebrities,
100%.
right? So I remember you were showing me some of the top e-leaguers.
Yes.
And then with Wesley, right, what we've been talking about is he has a show. He's creating a show. So he's had like hip hop artists on his show, having them play games, talk about their favorite games. So right now, what I've been talking to Wesley about is about doing stuff like this, creating shows for Twitch and stuff like that. But also, let's test an actual tournament now. Everybody's home. Put $10 in a pot, you might win $1,000. You know. So that's an idea that we've been playing around with. So
I'm in.
All right, we got Paco. We got an investor, Wesley. So Wesley, what do you think you need to pull this off? Where are you at with it? I know because we having conversations, but let the public know where you at with it. What kind of help you need and how we make it happen.
Daddy, what's their name?
Well, I would say that what I would need help with is, you know, like being just in the, you know, having like setting up a meeting, you know, with these investors. You know, I would like to. What I would need is probably like 10 grand loan just to get some systems up.
You're talking about once.
Oh shit! Get down! Watch out! See, you're messed up.
You talking about once we able to go outside again, or you talking about right now? I'm talking about right now. What can you do right now?
What for right now is shit. I need esports players, man. Like you don't have to be the nicest in the world. You could just be, you know, like a casual gamer. And, you know, like if you want to win some money, you know, set up a cash app, everybody sign up, and, you know, probably like a 25-person team tournament, maybe even 60, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like Final Four, 64,
yeah.
right?
And the thing is, like, I would like for it to be like a fighting game, because it's more easy to, you know, like disqualify yourself, and if you want to put your money back in.
Right? Because fighting game, like fighting game lasts 5 minutes less.
Yeah, there's only like two matches.
Yeah.
Where with like Call of Duty or 2K, like you're like spending minutes, like 10 minutes, 5-minute quarters and shit. But a fighting game is like, it's either you're good or you're bad. It's either gonna be an easy match or, you know, a good battle, which ain't gonna last over like 2 or 3 minutes.
So is there a platform? Because I don't know. I've been researching it a little bit. I know this is your world. Is there a platform that allows people to play against each other and we can see it? Like, because I've been looking at it,
well,
but I don't really understand how it works.
From the link, I just found out that Facebook is like, they just started a tournament design within their platform. So what you can do is you can set up like esports tournament, set up the brackets, and people can see who lost, who won, like the whole tournament bracketing system. But as far as like everybody seeing who played, we would have to figure out which platform would fit for the best player. It could be Twitch, Mixer, whatever plays that we have. We would just have to dedicate it to that. Come on.
That's why my door is locked right here.
Yeah.
Miguel, where are your kids?
My kids were up to like 4 o'clock in the morning, so they knocked out. My kids are rock stars. They're playing games all night. So, all right. So, what I liked about Wesley's idea when he first started talking to me about it was, I know the esports leagues are the next NFL, Major League Baseball. That's the future, and it's probably even bigger because everybody could be a fucking baseball a player now. It's not like you got to be 6'8" and dunk, you know, to be in the NBA.
Even the basketball players now, they're playing esports. They're playing a lot of video games. I've been watching a lot of the internet right now. A lot of the stuff right now, all they doing is playing against other players. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron versus this.
Yep.
So
and think about it. That makes a LeBron or whoever, they can have a career forever, because it's not like you don't get old and you can't play video games no more, right? You still could keep that celebrity status and move it to the next level. So with Wesley, part of what I've been thinking about is how do we test one league, do 64? Like, how do we take $10 from 64 people and somebody wins the pot? You know, and of course the business stays with a certain percent. So that's the type of idea that could work right now. Like I've been saying, think about ideas that could work right now, because if they work right now, they'll work after right now.
Yep.
So Wesley, what is the plan right now? Do you have any plan right now, or do you need help in figuring out the plan?
Yeah, like I do need some help just figuring out what the plan would be, as far as, you know, like, well, I would think just more so getting the systems is what I really need, you know, because that's an investment. You know, I don't have the most money in the world, but like, let me just get like 6 to 10 systems. I'll find the players, and we'll be able to set up a match, yo. Honestly.
Yeah, because we spoke about the locations, like we can find locations and stuff like that. So that's again, we're talking about months from being able to be in environments like that. In this time, we could be doing other stuff. So what I'm gonna give you homework wise, and you know, we can go back and forth, is let's figure out a way to run a test in the next 3 months or whatever we're stuck here, where we could try this online. Let's like look into the Facebook. Let's figure out everything and then go from there.
Paco looked like he's about to do a photo shoot.
Let's
He's about to do a wedding, like a wedding shoot and stuff. He's like this. Photo shoot ready, Paco.
I was just thinking about, you know, my younger kids. I have a 30-year-old, and a 28-year-old, and you know, I was about, you know, Wesley's age, your age a little bit, and they were about that age, the kids, and those kids would be behaving nicely and be quietly, but no sooner that I would get on the phone, they would go berserky. It was almost like, this is the time to mess with Dad. And they would start
that very well,
interrupting me and everything else. I said, "Don't you see that I'm on the phone?" And they would look at me, "You dummy! That's what we're doing it." Yeah.
Paco has a lot of experience with my kids in that, and so does Cesar.
Oh my God! That's over.
So from your two guys, seasoned entrepreneurs, what do you think about Wesley's idea, and what ideas do you have on that?
I think it's a winner. It has to be developed. It has to be. We got to figure out exactly, you know, particularly somebody like Cesar, who has a lot of experience with the public. But in terms of identifying new talent and everything else, I think it's wonderful. I think the thing that I talked about yesterday, that a little while ago rather, that there's talent practically from grammar school on, and the Bronx is full of huge amount of talent. And any platform that becomes like the Wesley potential platform, you know, and becomes young people friendly, I think it's a winner. I think it can blow up. I think it can blow up big time, and particularly because we forget that the Bronx, in spite of the fact that it is the poorest county from a health service point of view of New York State, and has a lot of isms still very, very low, the Bronx has a world presence. It has a face. Yep. Because of all the things that have been developed here, of which the Bronx has not made too much money of, but we've grown a lot of artists. We've grown movements, whether it's hip hop or you know, the salsa movement to a great degree was born here many years ago. The salsa movement was born everywhere, but a lot of the musicians came out of the Bronx. So we have an opportunity to use the Bronx famousness to be able to gain a world audience. That's not a big jump for us. So anything that gets developed out of the Bronx, I think has potential. At least that's my opinion.
I agree. So that's yeah. Go ahead, Cesar. What do you think?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I think right now in the gaming world is missing a strong East Coast presence. So coming out of the Bronx will be amazing. I can see this becoming like a tournament, yes, a big time tournament that people could come from around the world and come to a tournament, but at the same time, he can have his own big team that he can, whoever's the best of the best in the Bronx could get together and go to the tournaments that's like in Minnesota and go to like Detroit and some of this Midwest. Because right now the Midwest has the esports and all that kind of stuff on lockdown right now. So to get the Bronx on the map, yes, start off like this. And I think he should develop a crazy team. You know what I'm saying? Like a team
and take the best, the all-stars, right? Like take the all-stars and make a team. Yeah. That's basically what we've been discussing.
Yeah, have an all-star cast and bring that all-star cast. First, bring people come to them and kind of play the all-stars, right? And then bring the all-stars to around the world. I think that's going to be huge because we do have a lot of talent over here, especially in the Bronx, and that could represent the East Coast, you know, because I haven't seen really a real East Coast team, you know, being represented in any category of these video games now. You know, and the video game in the last 3 years has been taken off to a level that's paying people in the millions of dollars. So people are becoming superstars.
Yeah. Like one kid won the Fortnite League and he made, I think, like $1 million, right? He was like 17 or something like that.
Like 3 million. Like
3 million. So,
3 million.
So this is real now, and this is big money. There's all kind of and right now, what stuff like this is showing is that league is like 1908 for the NBA and stuff like that right now. Like it's the first starting point of it. So ESPN right now, they have shows where they're literally just talking about these people. Like they're LeBron James, right? And so this is coming, and that's the type of show Wesley has already with Game 7. But what we've been talking about is how do we identify the stars that are in our area, and one, make the NFL instead of just having the Patriots or the Jets, right? Let's make the NFL, right? And that's what we want to. We're trying to figure out how to make the NFL and ESPN at the same time. Yeah. NFL, ESPN, and then we'll figure out the teams, right? So Wesley, any questions for these seasoned entrepreneurs or us or me too? I guess I am one too. You got any questions?
While you're thinking about the question, let me ask you a question. How much business background do you have? I love your idea, by the way. I think it's a real you playing the kids. But how much business experience you have? And if you don't have too much business experience, you're probably a very quick learner. So what is it that you need to learn about in being able to run a business?
Let's go.
Well, I would say that just learning the business, you know, seeing what pushes the needle as far as, you know, like dealing with investors more so, and like shit. Wow.
Think about it. That's a hard question.
Because it's like I like the way that I do things. The reason I create is because, you know, like I have a vision. You know, I don't really go into it thinking about money, but I need to think about the money because that's what also fuels, you know, what you want to have going.
Yep.
You know.
So the reason I asked you the question was because most situations that I've come into contact with, people have great ideas. They're very creative, and a lot of them have a great potential of being real winners. Where they fall down and they go down the rabbit hole is because the founder doesn't have a co-founder, one, and two, that they know very little about how to run a business, how to structure a business, how to bring partners in, how to divide the pie, how to, you know. So Miguel and I and Cesar have been working very, very hard on that side of the question, which is the side that I've been involved with most of my life, how to run a business, how to fail. You know, I've had, you know, tons and tons of businesses, and I've had a lot of failures. People say to me, why do you talk about your failures? I said, because my failures were my my education. It wasn't going to college and getting a BBA degree, major in finance. That was just a ticket. That was just a union card. My learning came when I jumped into this business and I failed. I had a painting company. I had a construction company. I had a t-shirt company. I had a whole bunch of stuff. I had a hairdressing salon. And they failed to a degree. I try always to break even before I cut off. So I really didn't lose a lot of money, but they failed. They were not successful businesses. But I learned. I learned a lot. So that's the spirit in which I'm asking you the question, because I want you to succeed. I want you to be successful in what you do. And your success, in my opinion, is directly related, proportionally related to how much you know about the business side. And if you don't, say, I don't know shit about the business side. I'm a visionary. I need help on that side. Once you make that statement that you know very little about running a business and you need help, you're on to success, bro. You're on to success, because that's the first part of the equation. Being able to say, I'm good at this, but I'm not good at this.
Hold on a second.
So basically, I'm trying to keep these to an hour. So what in the last 10 minutes do you guys want to discuss, if anything? And any final questions that we could hit on? But I don't want these to go more than an hour every day. But if they go, they go. But I'm trying to so let me know what do you guys think? Any final words? Any final questions that we could dive into?
My final words are for people who are sitting at home, whether they're 81 years old like me, or they're 40 years old like my other friend that is cash flush, and you want to invest. I would need you to contact either Cesar or Miguel, because we really got opportunities for you. And some of our investments are not asking for 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, maybe not. Some of them will need that kind of money, but a lot of our businesses, because we're early adopters. We adopt people early on their development, which a lot of people don't. The normal investor wants to see something that already has some traction. We go in early, and therefore our needs are sometimes anywhere from 5,000 to 30,000 to 50,000. We're at the low end of the investment, but the result is that early investors are able to get a better deal on how we slice the pie. So please don't sit on your cash. You do not want to be the richest man in the cemetery. You want to be somebody who takes his money or her money and puts it to work in a place like the South Bronx, the Bronx indeed.
So yeah, Cesar, how about you? Any final words or questions that I know we speak a lot, and you speak to Paco a lot, but
well, what Paco said is beyond. I can't believe I'm even gonna follow this up, right? No, but thanks.
Maybe send some money in.
Take your money.
And somebody said, that's a contradiction. Didn't he say that he could do it without money?
Yeah.
You could hold contradictions. My whole thing has been that I've always been able to hold contradictions. And what happens between this contradiction is the middle. The middle is where the juice is, the tension between I need money, I don't need money. I can do it without money, I can do it with money. Both are correct and both are true.
Exactly.
So my thing is, just don't do nothing when you're home, right? Just learn, create, right? This thing right here, this head right here, you gotta feed it. You gotta feed it. Feed that money.
That's a big head, though.
You know how much I gotta feed that head? A lot.
Oh shit.
So just don't just sit home and watch Netflix all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something creative, build something, and I feel like just during this time, be a better version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have all this time. Don't just throw it away. Time is more valuable than money. So just Yeah, that's my advice.
So yeah, so to end it, basically to recap the whole thing, right now there's a huge amount of opportunities, whether it's time or money. If you have either, which most people have time right now, it's a huge opportunity. So part of what I wanted to do with this show too is figure out where there's a need of people. So like, let's say you, Cesar, for the Behind the Celebrity show or this new project that we are stealth mode on, what type of people do you need to help with that idea, or for the Beyond the Celebrity show?
So for the Beyond Celebrity show, right now we're revved up. We're going 100 miles per hour, but we need help with social media. Whoever can break things down, like break our videos down and make it into an Instagram post or make it into Twitter post. You know, if you have those skills to take our content and even the content I have on YouTube and stuff like that and make it into a kind of call of action and make those posts on Twitter, Instagram, and on on TikTok, you know, you're very valuable to us right now, and we have opportunity for you, especially early on.
So Paco, how about you? I know we're working on 1,000 things. You're working on 1,000 things. What are the type of people you feel like you need to contact you and start figuring out how to work with? I know you said investors, which that makes sense.
I would like to concentrate on high school folks from the Bronx and first year, second year college students from the Bronx who are technologically adept and knowledgeable and have ideas and have been techies since they were 3 years old. I want them to contact you, Miguel, and say, listen, I'm one of those people that my mother and father didn't know what I was doing in my room. They thought I was doing something else, but I was really improving my technology, my knowledge, and I know more now about technology that high school can teach me or college can teach me. I need a place where I can grow, where I can show my wares, what I can show, what I can do with what I know. Because the whole issue in technology is not what you know, not how many PhDs you got, what can you do with what you know? And we need people like that.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of what we're doing at the Meta Bronx side of all this is. I grew up and I had skills, but I lacked opportunity, right? So it's like, how do you get experience if nobody gives you experience? So part of what I've been trying to create, and all these people on this video are proving, is that we have opportunity if you want to get opportunity, but you have to have that motivation to get in there and learn. So I'm gonna end it before the hour because I want to keep these as concise as possible, but I'm gonna be back every day at 11 doing this with maybe Paco and Cesar come on whenever they can, but let's keep it going. Thank you for tuning in.